There's no way they had above 75 IQs. And so they've also, I guess, they figure it's more powerful, at least, than the combat droids they've got right now. So they're go ahead and are going to use some of those frontline. Now, of course, I also told you, and I'm not joking, that a decade ago that the Pentagon said by 2012, half of the forces in the air, Air Force, your Navy, Air Forces, Army, Air Force, Marine Corps air power, that half of it would be drone. And they also said that of that, they wanted to have a large percentage that was going to be autonomous, where it's just programmed and sent out. That has now happened. By 2020, they want to have over 90% drone, and half the ground force is going to be robot. So, and you will be in 2020 if we're still in the air. I doubt that if they keep going forward. Looks like us aren't going to be on the air. But the message has been sent, so we'll be in your mind. But the point is that half the ground force in 8 years is going to be robots. And they haven't been showing these to a lot of people because it freaks folks out. I knew from Marine Corps sources 14 years ago that they didn't just have swords, but they've got stuff for psychological operations that's meant to scare people. You see, when you see something like Terminator, you think that's a movie and that the government's imitating art. No, the art's imitating life. That's all predictive programming. I've talked to high-level military people when I've brought up what I was told by some Marines and others, that, yes, they've got basically tracked creatures, but then on top of it, they've got multi-armed systems that look like something out of Terminator, and they've even got some of them skull heads on top. They find that really scares people. So they've got mini tanks that, and I've actually seen it in the Honolulu Advertiser, had an article on it a few years ago, but I've been told about it when it was classified. And it's like a mini tank about the size of a big Dodge pickup, but it's got treads, and it's got emergency wheels under it that can come out if those get damaged. And there was like 15 guns on the front of it. I mean, it was like a tank a kid would draw. It looked like science fiction tanks I would draw as a child, because I liked, science fiction, and I'd draw like, science fiction army tanks with like 15 guns on the front. It's just unlimited money, our money, to just build unlimited armies against us. And because they know there's been big debates about getting pilots out of the aircraft, and it's not going to be humans going to space. It's not going to be humans in jet aircraft. It's not going to be humans fighting. It's going to be big floating fortresses that come up next to your country that's got a bunch of human technicians that work on the robots, and then big giant helicopters and Ospreys and other ship landers land and disgorge basically treaded 18-wheelers that then pull up into the area and dump out a bunch of killer robots. And they've got them skull heads, they've got big spiders, everything. And of course, you'll see these soon. I mean, they're already showing some of them. They did a lot of hard kill slaughter on families all over Iraq with the little primitive swords, throwing hand grenades, ejecting hand grenades. They launch them, and machine gunning, 50 cal. They've got robot Humvees that are remote control. Already 7 states have legalized 18-wheelers driving around that have no driver. It's just similar to that. It's already happening. And basically, helicopter flies over, drops a bunch of little mini spiders that are basically hand grenades. They come up to where you're at, blow up. They've got race-specific nanotech bioweapons that self-destruct a few hours after they've been released. Supposedly, that's going to stop blowback. It's not even really a virus. It's more of an artificial nanotech that kills you. They've got, of course, at least hundreds of airborne super weapons that kill over 90% of those that come in contact with them. And that's why they don't care that and have congressional hearings about government-run child kidnapping rings and nobody gets in trouble. That's why they don't care that they're running torture camps worldwide. That's why they have the troops on Fox News growing the opium. They'll soon have robots to do that. And the troops are all freaked out, and they were having mutinies over there. That was coming out about the drug dealing and the troops being ordered to load the heroin on to be flown into America and Europe. And so they just said, get the troops on BBC, CNN, ABC, Fox News, and you can see the news clips. Just type in government admits opium being grown, and it's got the troops all standing around, and the colonel's out there, yeah, we grow the opium. It's what we do. And everybody's kind of, we're not glad about it, but okay. And the troops are like, well, I guess it's on TV. It's okay. See, they were in the old system where they thought it was illegal, which it is. But see, now it's just to throw it in your face. And that's why these people are such scum, is because it's all funny to them. And only a huge awakening now, and only a refusing the system, and only a realizing that our own destruction. I mean, I was reading these contracts. They got a lot of these robots built in the United States, Canada, in England, and Europe, but a lot of the components are built in China. And I mean, think of the crooks. They have unlimited money. They've got unlimited trillions that they make up out of nothing that we prop up with our taxes. And they've already got the air forces of the 4 branches half converted over to drones, and they're getting ready to convert almost all the others except for meat carriers. And again, the military themselves are brainwashed, sleep deprivation, shaved heads, cult programming developed by the Germans. That's what it is. They're just biological androids, but they have a soul so they can wake up. You're obsolete. You're gone. You're done. You're given a soft kill DU serving. You're given soft kill vaccines. You're listed as the top enemy because they know that you tend to actually become conscious because you're not just an animal. You're not just an android. They can keep you in an android state, in a mesmerized, brainwashed, woohoo football state, but you can break out of it. So you're slated as the #1 enemy because in the future war, when we face the robots and the roid-head SWAT teams backing them up that sit there like cowards a mile away, you know, driving up the little tank with the shotgun howitzer blowing your house up, and as the zit-faced, you know, kids sit there just overseeing, they'll be like butlers to the drones and robots, you know, just there as a backup in case there's any glitches. You know, they'll be there to hit the override and self-destruct on them, and just nothing but sniveling scum of every type, killing the last generation of servants. They themselves, like every tyrant does, will be killed, and then it's just phasing in the mass bioweapons releases. And man, you think about it, they've just got these giant warehouses of drone helicopters with the nerve gas on them, drone helicopters with the bioweapons. And that's what's really scary, is that after they've staged all the terror attacks and clamped down on society and got everybody reporting on their neighbors to get some credits, to get some food, and reporting on their neighbors to get some, you know, to turn their guns in to get some food. After we're deep into this in a fully broken, servile, pathetic society, the warehouses open, the helicopters lift with the bio or chem weapon. Sunshine Project out of Texas, again, 12 years ago, got the documents on the Marine Corps plan for the helicopter stationed around the country with human pilots with knockout gas or other gases to knock out whole cities during civil insurrection. And, of course, the Marines wanted that reclassified. You can read those articles about that. Just type in Marine Corps orders Sunshine Project to remove and reclassify documents. But the point is that now they don't even need to have people get in the helicopters and do it. The globalists just have it all set up. It's all compartmentalized. Robot trucks deliver the nerve gas. Robots load the drones. You've only got a few technicians involved at the nerve gas plant. They don't even know where it's going. Or the bioweapon plant, the airborne Ebola. They hit the button. The globalists, Nancy Pelosi, all of them on record have passes to the underground bunkers, nuclear power plants, underground reservoirs, everything. They emerge 2 years later. We're all dead. And they openly say, the globalists say, I mean, I've given you their quotes and their plans, that is what their big goal is. And as soon as they think they've got it ready, they're going to do it. Right now, they just want to get World War III going with the Muslims. They want to get control governments in with control elites there who are being promised access to the bunkers and access to the future to make sure it's a concerted, standardized extermination of humanity. This is why I understand I'm risking my life doing this, folks, but there's no future if we don't stop this. I know, I was the kook that said they'd use derivatives to bring in a worldwide depression. But before that happened, there'd be staged terror attacks, probably blowing up something like the World Trade Center to blame it on bin Laden, and that they would set up a system called Homeland Security to take over our society and pass laws to abolish posse comitatus and allow the secret arrest of U.S. citizens, now law. This is just us being chained down so the vampire can come over and drink our blood at its leisure. You look your grandkids in the eyes, folks, and you know in my gut, everybody's got gut instinct, not just the data. You know, even though this sounds crazy, you know inside it's true. You know it's true. By the way, they just found the Sunshine Project documents. Go ahead and click on it because it was still saved on the Wayback Machine. I guess the Marines got tired of bullying people. As long as somebody followed their order to pull it off their website, you can find it on the Wayback Machine and the digital archives. I don't know, is that the one at the insistence of the United States Marine Corps? The July 14th, 3 items were removed from the Sunshine Project online clearinghouse. Yeah, and that's the knockout gas for U.S. cities. The military doesn't work for us. You figured that out yet? New World Order took over a long time ago. And they've been, but again, they're in control of the top and control of the money. Now there was still so much freedom of speech. Independent radio stations, still a free web. They don't have total control yet. They want the total control. They want the Homeland Security. And I just mentioned to you that when they have their global standardization in place, that's when they drop the hammer. And they've almost got it. Here's a Homeland Security press release today. Secretary Napolitano unveils national strategy for global supply chain security. And it says from all over the world, and Homeland Security is at Davos getting agreements from the corporate world leaders who then install it into all their systems of a global national security supply chain. And World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, the Department of Homeland Security is committed to facilitating legitimate trade and travel. Oh, they're going to facilitate legitimate. They're going to decide while preventing terrorists from exploiting supply chains, protecting transportation systems from attacks and disruptions, and increasing their reliance on global supply chains. That means shutting everybody down. And it goes on. What do they say in the documents we reported on 2 days ago that are so bombshell? Shock docs, total federalization of police. They're going to hire all the police, checkpoints, groping, forced inoculations, all being announced under new Homeland Security mission. Mission creep, DHS agency abandons fighting terrorism, shift to hiring police, taking over America, and dealing with political dissenters. Now they say they're going after you for your speech. They are open eugenicist terrorists who make Hitler look like an angel of love. Look at Chertoff. He is the angel of death. His name means son of the devil.
You don't need me to tell you that humanity is...
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I give you my absolute word from the depths of my soul that what I've told you here in the last 15 minutes is the absolute researched, verified truth in not triplicate, not quadruplicate, but by the thousands. Okay, I wish every day this wasn't true. I wish every second, but look at the horrors of Pol Pot, of Hitler, of Mao, of Stalin, of the thousands of tyrants throughout history. Thousands of them who would just do horrible things and burn down whole cities and order the firstborn children killed. So many cultures would always order the firstborn killed. The Egyptians, the Aztecs, almost every culture, the Druids, when psychopaths get into control. And that's what I'm trying to get across to you. Imagine you're